but putting a face on some shitty LLM audio pipeline isn't enough. It's actually like more harmful than it is helpful.
Hassaan is the co-founder and CEO of Tavus, a research lab aiming to make talking to a machine feel more like a real human. Started in 2020, Tavus most recently raised a 40 million Series B led by CRV, with customers including Salesforce, Amazon, and Alibaba. Hassaan, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Excited for this.
All right, we're gonna go 10 minutes or less, rapid fire in each question. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Starting off, there's so much happening in the space. Synthesia, HeyGen, Hydra, now Google with Gemini, Omni. Where does Tavus actually sit?
Yeah, actually, it fits with none of these. We exist in a very different space. I think people sometimes lump us in with these because, like, it seems like we all do video or we all do avatars, even though I hate that word. But for one, there's like a huge difference between making AI generated videos and having a real time AI human that understands you, sees you, reacts with you, that has EQ. Like, that's a different space entirely. The models, the research, the use cases, everything is different. And like, Tavus isn't really the video or the avatar company. Like, we're the human computing company. Like, sure, we have the most advanced human rendering model on the market, but that's like a fifth of what we do. Like, what we ultimately build is human simulation models. So that means in addition to rendering, we also build models for perception, understanding. It's obviously just the most visual components. People think of us as like the video company.
Okay, so then tell me a little bit more what that actually looks like in practice. I mentioned some of your customers. Like, how are people using this technology?
Yeah, like, people are using our interfaces and our models to build AI humans. They're using it to build AI salespeople, AI interviewers, AI therapists, AI companions. They're using it to build all these things that need to feel and understand and see and hear like a human does. So that's what they're building.
You said you hate the word avatar. Why is that?
It's so generic. It could mean anything. And it most often just means that you put a face on something, right? But putting a face on some shitty LLM audio pipeline isn't enough. It's actually like more harmful than it is helpful. Like, we believe in building this like AI human interface, like these AI humans that aren't just a face, but like these entities that can actually see you, hear you, understand you, like genuinely understand you, your expressions and your emotions. Like, they have memory, they build connection, relationship with you, they evolve. Like, that's way more than a face. And so I hate that word because it's like doesn't describe what we do at all.
You mentioned you're building your own models. In fact, you have like, I think 4 different classes of models. Why is that? How did you decide to do that? That's kind of a difficult undertaking.
Our research directive is essentially that we build the things that don't exist or aren't good enough. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, that has meant that we ended up being very vertically integrated because nothing existed, at least at the level we needed, right? So then we built our own models. We continue to build more of these models because we realized we could get close to the Turing test by building these other parts of the stack that could really be tightly coupled and have shared context and shared embeddings, or they just weren't good enough. So we decided to build our own models for the things that didn't exist.
And you're also generating your own training data. I think you mentioned you have a studio in the office. Can you tell me about that?
The type of data we need is actually very similar to what we're doing right now. It's like two-way video data. So what we need the model to learn is, what did I say and how did you react to it? And what was the context and all that occurred? And like the small micro expressions and emotions that happen in all of those things, right? And so we need a lot of this data. The more natural it is, like the more diverse it is, the better.
Is there a particular type of data that is hard to find otherwise that you have to therefore create yourself?
Well, you have to think about, like, what is there not like recorded experiences for? Is there a lot of data on people going on like a date or something? Maybe not, but like if you're building a human simulation model, then it needs to really learn all aspects of the human sort of situation. It needs to learn those emotions that might not come across in like a more professional setting even. And so there's a lot of things that may not be recorded out there that we often have to go and sort of manually source.
So are you saying you simulate dates in your training studio?
You know, we have a number of ways to get certain types of data. We haven't simulated dates just yet, but honestly, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I think what we could do is we could actually make the studio like a first time date spot. We could like put like nice cafe, some tables. I think that's a great idea.
I think people would be delighted, and you give them like a free meal. You help. It's like a fun thing for a date. I think This
Wait,
profession.
this is an amazing idea. Okay, we're doing
Tavus
this.
Cafe. You know how there's like Cursor Cafe, right? Like
But the
Tavus Cafe.
Tavis dating cafe
Tavus
specifically.
dating. Tavus Love Cafe.
I love it. We can actually match people up too. It's a great
Yes.
idea.
You're building the human computing company today, but that's not where you started. A few years in, you pivoted and fired your initial customers. How did you make that decision?
So, like, interestingly, unlike most pivots, ours was more a return to the vision rather than like changing the vision, right? Like, Tavis was started with this belief that the nuances of human communication matter a lot. That like seeing someone, hearing someone, that builds trust. It triggers something in us that's evolutionary. Like, there's a reason we're doing this over video. After Series A, the roadmap was all about integrations and building better AI sales tools. And I took a look at the team and I was like, none of us give a crap about building sales tools. We built that model as a stepping stone and we got too deep into it. So we decided to take a step back and say, no, let's go back to our research roots. Let's build the human computing company.
What was that conversation like with your investors?
Well, I'll say it was probably one of the scarier conversations I've ever had. And they basically said, Hassaan, you better freaking be right.
Switching topics a little bit, you have an 85 Corvette sitting in your office. What does that symbolize to you?
I think there's so much that it symbolizes, and I think that's the point, right? I think that great products, and specifically, I think it's true for these like really amazing cars like the C4 Corvette in the office, tell such a deep story. They tell a story around who created it, like why they did, like what they were thinking, what they assumed, what they were dreaming about, even the constraints and the environment and the culture it was created in, right? So, for example, like the C4 is a vintage computer in its own right. Like it like fits perfectly in the office. Like it's part of this like retrofuturistic era where it has this like beautiful digital dash, like early powertrain computers. It even looks like a spaceship. It also tells the story of the underdog, like these unpretentious Americans taking on beating the Europeans, of like transitory designs. Like it tells so much.
Cars is only one of your hobbies. Another one is reading about corporate strategy failures. Which corporate strategy failure lives rent free in your brain?
Definitely Palm. Like the Palm Pre was the best phone and had the best operating system WebOS at the time it came out. But there were so many things that worked against it. Well, and a lot of just like purely bad business decisions, right? Like going with the wrong carrier to start off, like not having developers really buy into the platform. It was just like great product. It was the best product, but it's still lost. And I think that's what I'm usually interested in those even more is like where was there just like fantastic execution the product side, but they still failed.
Codex or Claude Code?
Claude Code, 100%.
Really?
Yes.
And how likely are you to change that?
Well, I think every couple of months I'll usually do a head to head again. I'll give it the
Yeah.
exact same problem,
Yeah.
and I'll sort of give the same exact prompts, and I'll sort of see like, okay, like how would I feel in using these? Like, did it ask me the right questions? Did it make assumptions? X, Y, Z. And I recently actually did one against Codex and Claude Code, and Claude Code still won for me. And I was like, okay, this is the tool.
That's an interesting hot take right now because Codex is lighting up the timeline. I'll check in a month and see how you feel.
That sounds great.
What's one way a customer used Tavis that you didn't see coming?
Elderly care companions. I mean, I love this use case, but I could not have imagined it. There's so many elderly people out there who don't have someone who can take care of them or can see them every single day. And loneliness is like an epidemic. It's like an early killer, right? And so having this companion to just be there all the time and that knows you and sees them and understands their emotions and expressions, it's like invaluable for their caretakers who might be thousands of miles away and like allows them to get the help they need and allows them to also just like not suffer alone in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we were talking about an article in the New York Times about in South Korea, a lot of folks turning
Yes.
to AI. And I think someone said, like, it's better than my kid, or it's more reliable than my kid.
More reliable than kid. Be better kids, y'all.
For Tavis to win, what has to become true?
Right now everything is based off of this like discrete model where like you like demand this model do something and it responds back. But the future of what we're imagining is it's continuous. Like this model, this interface is always seeing you. It's always thinking about you. How we think about compute has to change. And like our personal compute and the abilities for that to be used has to change drastically.
Hassaan, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.